Alright, so let's say you just joined a Ogre Battle Discord and you are super excited to figure out exactly how you can mod this game to make it more enjoyable for yourself and for other players. And you spent an entire week making this awesome spreadsheet just to talk to the main guy who does the modding and find out that it's completely useless. So, what do you do instead? Do you give up? No. Here we are. I want to make this fighter have these stats in the game. So I'm going to take these stats for the fighter, and I'm going to paste them in a notepad right here. Then I'm going to go to a new line because I also want to mess with the Amazon. So I want to take the Amazon right here, and I want to copy those stats, and I want to put it right there. Okay, so then I want to go to the mod calculator. This is a thing that a guy, I don't remember his name, did, and then Grant got a hold of it, and then he did some stuff with it, and I just spent an entire day making it a catch-all, one-stop shop for modding this game, to my knowledge. So, I have those numbers right there that I want to use, that you can see. And I want to put these fighter numbers for the fighter. So you have your default column. You don't ever want to change this. So if you ever want to make a change to go back, you have this to resort to. And then you have your new columns. So the only column you're ever going to do anything with is this column with the values right here. And then this I column for things that scale with your level or have selectable drop downs. And then whenever you're done, you will have stuff to click in this copy paste dump column. So to change the fighter, we're going to give them 70 hit points at level 1. That doesn't change. We're going to give them 4 per level hit points. That also does not change. However, in the mod that I'm making right now, I want you to have access to all of the base classes at level 3. So to accomplish this, I pushed all of the fighter and Amazon stats higher so that you can immediately class change into whatever you want. So for the fighter, I need 72 strength. You type 72 in. I put all of the scalings to 2 for this mod. So I'm going to go ahead and do that right quick. I want 66 for your vitality because that will let you meet the prerequisite for the phalanx. I want 56 in intellect because that will let you meet the prerequisite for wizard and dollmaster. 62 mentality is for dollmaster's kind of ridiculous 74 required stat, I think. And then 48 agility for ninjas, and 61 dexterity for ninjas. So, simple enough, right? Well, let's say I also want my fighters to just start the game for no reason. I just want them to have, let's see. I want them to have falchions. And I want them to slash 3 times on the front row. And that'll work for fighters. They're good. Okay, so we'll come back to them. I'm going to do an Amazon change. So for the Amazons, same thing. I want 70 hit points. I want 4 health scaling, 2 in everything else. And then I want 68 strength, 53 vitality, 61 intelligence, 64 mentality, 50 agility, which won't change, and then 65 dexterity for the dragon tamer. Now, I also showed people earlier that the Amazons can just shoot people in the face if you make their arrow attack a thrust instead. So I'm going to set row 1 and row 2 to thrust instead of shoot. And I'm going to set these to 2 attacks each because I just think it's funny to watch. And that's it. So now you're going to have a fighter that has all the base stats required to turn into whatever you want, and an Amazon that has all the base stats required to turn into whatever they want. And as soon as you unlock the gear for those base classes, or if you get them through your questions at the start of the game, you can immediately customize your starting army. So what do you do with this information? Well, you have these columns here. This code column generates the hex code that is required to make the change. Then you have the hexadecimal code that is output from your selection in these columns, as you can see here. And then you have these 5 or 6 columns here that you should never have to touch. This is just directly converting whatever is in this column to a GameShark code, and then it will output it in your copy-paste dump if something is valid. You can see here, there is nothing here, so it doesn't convert it to anything, and it doesn't output it to anything. So you don't have to worry about this because you didn't make a change there. So you have all your changes. You highlight everything that has a change on it. You hit Control-C and copy the whole thing. You boot up your Project 64. You launch your game. As soon as the game launches, you can, if you want, go ahead and change your plug-in here so that it's a little bit bigger so everyone can see what I'm doing easier. And then you hit Cheats. In the Cheats menu, you hit this little arrow right there to make it expand. And you hit New Cheat. And I want to name this one Fighter Base Stat Changes. And then you just go to this address box and you hit Control-V. All you have to do now is remove any empty lines between the codes that it input. And as soon as you do that, you can then hit Add New Cheat and then go to the next one. Next one, Amazon Base Stat Changes. And then you go to your Amazon tab and you grab all of this. Now, I would like to say I probably should be naming those cheats class changes instead of base stat changes, since only this up here is changing base stats. But, you know, this is a demonstration. You can name them whatever you want. If you want to have your stat changes as one cheat and then your attack changes as a different cheat and your equipment changes as a different cheat, you can make 3 different cheats. For me, I'm just going to do it all as one because it's quicker to show you guys. Do it however you want. So, Amazon base stat changes. Paste. Once again, remove the extra lines. I don't actually know if this is required, but it just cleans it up a little bit. And you can just put in here cheat notes. Amazon point blank shot stat adjustment for any base class, and add new cheat. And then I'm going to go to the fighter and say the same thing here. Fighter base class or base stat adjustment for any base class, and falchion starting weapon. And then I'm going to hit update cheat. Now those 2 are in. I don't think I had any others, so there's no real need to do anything else. I guess if I wanted to, I could go show maybe a different attack. So let's make, I don't know, let me go find shoot. Shoot would be a good one for the back row, actually. As you can see, you can kind of get lost in all this, so just Control F is your friend to search the sheet to find whatever you want. Here is shoot, and let's just say I want shoot to be a, you know what, I'm not going to explain this yet because I still don't exactly understand these. So we're just going to go to Project 64 and I'll show you what happens when I do this. So update cheat, and then you're going to turn on both cheats. Then let the emulator play out slowly if you want, or you can do your release frame limit so it'll speed through everything. And then you can go start a new game. It is important if you're doing base stat changes, if you want your army to reflect them, to start a new game. And I don't want to go through all the cutscenes, so I'm just going to speed through all this. I'm sorry if the audio for the game is just broken, because, you know, frame limiting kind of does that. Skip cutscene, get through all this. Alrighty, and now as you can see, we are here. I'm going to go ahead and go to the organize screen, and you should just see right away that my fighters are going to crash my game. Well, that's not great. I wonder what I did wrong there. Oh, I bet falchion is a two-handed weapon. You know, I didn't consider that. Let me go look. Falchion. Am I spelling that wrong? Yeah, I am. So weapon, falchion, swords. Control F, falchion. Okay, no, they're marked as swords, and so is the short sword. So I don't actually know why that froze. Alright guys, so as you can see right here, I restarted the game just to make sure that the Amazon was working correctly. And you can see that she will thrust on the front row and the middle row. However, as soon as I tried to go over my soldier, I still had a crash or a freeze. I don't know. The music is still playing. I'm going to close out of the game right quick and make sure I have that cheat set correctly. And more than likely, I'm going to get rid of the sword because I think that might be what's causing it. And I'll be right back. Alright, so as you can see here, I changed the sword back to a short sword. I selected all of this information. I'm going to copy it, and then I'm going to boot up the game again and modify that cheat. So as soon as the game loads, you can go to System and Cheats. You can open up the existing fighter base stat cheat, select everything in here with the Control A, and then Control V to paste over it. Once again, as I said before, you can clear out all of these lines. I still don't know if it's required, but, you know, why not? Also, make sure to update your notes so you know what it does. Update the cheat, turn them on, and close. I always used to try and make sure that they do turn on because sometimes the emulator gets a little funky. Again, I'm going to try to speed through some of this by making sure VSync is not on and then doing the limit FPS to get through here. Alrighty, back to new game and let's do this again. Hopefully it works this time. I don't know why the sword would be having an issue, but that's something I can ask Grant about later. Or I'll test and see if it's just that sword, perhaps. It might be, who knows. Alright, so we're back here again. I just realized I didn't make it bigger so you guys can see it. Sorry about that. There we go. And yeah, as you can see, I click on Magnus is here. My Amazons are here with their thrust. And my fighters are here with 3 slashes in the front row. Also, you should be able to see that everyone's stats are abnormally high. Again, I don't really know what was causing that sword to be the problem, but I just had a feeling it was, and I turned it off and it booted right back up. So, to show the point of what I'm doing with my mod so far, you can see that every one of these characters can go ahead and class change. So, for example, if I don't want Brenda to be an Amazon and I want her to be a sorceress, if I had the other items for, Dragon Tamer, etc., I could do that. But for now, sorceress is plenty fine. And let's see what I can turn my troublesome fighter into. I can make him a doll master or a wizard. So I think a doll master could be cool. Let's do that. Alright. And then I'm going to go ahead and make a quick adjustment to my formation here, because I have a backline sorceress now, and I have a middle line dollmaster, and I have a frontline archer. So this is the format I'm going to use. I don't know if it's the best, but whatever. It's fine. It's early game, right? And then I'm going to hit exit. I'm going to go ahead and set game speed and all of that to max, because I don't want to wait forever for it to get there. I would also suggest making a save at some point. That's usually a pretty smart idea. I have 2 here, doesn't matter. And then I'm going to skip through all the cutscenes because, again, I just want to show you that it works. So yeah, in this mission, the things you should be paying attention to are the fact that, first, I have a dollmaster. Second, I have a sorceress that was an Amazon on creation. And third, I have a archer who does a point-blank shot right in the face at the front line. And I have a fighter next to her that focuses on making 3 attacks on the front line instead of only 2. So I'm just going to send Magnus straight at it. I'm going to speed up the game because who really cares about this thing I'm going to pick up right here? Alright. First fight. Let's see what happens. And here we go. Point blank shot to the face. First slash of the fighter. Another point blank shot to the dog. Second fighter slash. Obviously the dollmaster and the sorceress are doing their things too. And now the dog's going to go again, and my fighter's going to go again. Dog's going to finish it off. And there you have it, guys. That's kind of how you mod the game. It's not incredibly difficult. There used to be a pretty big bar to overcome whenever it comes to doing this. And I will admit, this does not directly help you when it comes to hex editing the game. That's something I still need to learn from Grant. But overall, just giving people the ability to come in and make a cheat code that says, I want this to do that, is great. It's so nice to be able to just share this with people that might just want to do something wild. Like maybe you want, I don't know, maybe you want Magnus to start the game with a Balder sword instead. You can do that. There's the code. Maybe you want the, first boss of the game, or not the first, but maybe you want the Berserker Stabilo to just be a little bit beefier, and you want him to have, 100 extra hit points. You could do that. Or you just want to mess with the attacks. And, I was hesitant to do it earlier because I figured it would fail, but I know for a fact at least one of these that's really funny to watch is uh, Sonic Boom. And I posted that earlier in the chat for anybody that wants to go look at it because it's hilarious. And all you have to do is change it from special front to special rear right here and input that code. And now any of your sword masters that use Sonic Boom will dance all over the battlefield. And it's just hilarious. Maybe you want to change something to a sword and make it so that the short sword gives a, 5 strength bonus because you think that could make things better. Well, there you go. There's the code. Put it in. I don't know. I mean, I feel like I did a pretty decent job of making this as user-friendly as possible. So I just hope you guys enjoy it because that's the whole point of why I did it. So for anybody who wants to just dive in, you can at least start testing your version of your mods with cheat codes. And then whenever you figure out how and what you want them to be, you can take these cheat codes and, go through a process and convert them into actual hex edits. I'm not super familiar with that yet, but I'm hoping I can talk with Grant again soon and learn that, and maybe I'll automate that process too, where I can just set up some way where it will take this GameShark hex code so that you can just go straight to here, click the one that works, click here, hit Control-Alt, and then just dump it into a hex editor. Maybe it'll work, maybe it won't. I don't know. No promises, but I wanted to get this out there because I feel like this is a great step forward for modding this game. Anyway, guys, thanks for making me feel welcome in the Discord. I'm hoping this can help people just enjoy the game more. And yeah, catch you later. I can't think of anything else really that I need to cover that the spreadsheet shouldn't cover on its own. I guess I could touch on organization. So, you have your male classes, call them here. You have soldier, fighter, etc. You have female classes. All this should be relatively self-explanatory. Grant and I figured out that the boss classes is not filled in, so I actually am planning on finishing this week at work because I have time. So as soon as I get this finished, then this mod calculator spreadsheet should just be good to go, honestly. I can't think of anything that would be a problem. And for those of you that, do not like the Draconite books, well, you can come in and say, okay, well, they're really strong because they give a plus 10 int boost. Well, what if we just balance that by making it 0? Well, there's your code. Now they're not as strong. That probably won't fix them still, but, it'll at least help. Anyway, I'm rambling at this point. Enjoy your modding. Share what you come up with. If you need any help with the spreadsheet or with, testing an idea or something, shoot it my way or tag me in the channel and I can, test these out whenever. I'm going to try and be active as much as I can, but it seems like my schedule is not the same as most people in the Discord since I work night shift. But anyway, I will get to it when I can, and, I'll do testing and whatnot. I just, I'm here to help. I know that sounds kind of odd, seeing as I literally just joined the Discord, and, I should be the one kind of asking for help, but if I have anything for me, it's dogged determination to figure out how things work. And when I do, I am definitely able to share that with people who also want to know. Anyway, thanks again, everyone. enjoy the game.